The war between Ukraine and Russia is entering its second year, with no end in sight into a conflict that has killed tens of thousands of people, leveled cities, forced millions to flee, and brought the chill of the Cold War to global relations. In the Donetsk region near Bakhmut, snipers from the Special Operations Forces of the Ukrainian Armed Forces discovered the enemy DRG and eliminated 7 invaders from a sabotage and reconnaissance group. Rubrika wrote about this, referring to the press service of the SSO. According to informants, during a night exercise of a combat mission, snipers filmed the movements of the enemy's sabotage and reconnaissance groups. The SSO operators decide to undermine the Russian military who are trying to covertly move towards the Ukrainian positions. It should be recalled that Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Maliar stressed that the situation in Bakhmut is tense and difficult, and we are not hiding the fact that heavy fighting is taking place. He added that in the direction of Bakhmut, the enemy is trying to gather Wagner mercenaries because the regular troops of the Russian Federation are exhausted and demotivated. Meanwhile, the armed forces of Ukraine repelled more than 85 enemy attacks in 5 directions of the front and carried out 11 sorties in areas where Russian military forces were concentrated. Since the start of the Russian aggression, the Ukrainian Armed Forces have eliminated a total of nearly 149,900 soldiers, around 650 invaders in the last day alone. In addition, the Ukrainian army captured 3 Russian invaders. This was announced by the Donbass operative Telegram channel, publishing a related video recorded by one of its military. The Ukrainian military looked at the documents of one of the prisoners. It turned out that he was a resident of the occupied part of the Donetsk region in 2014. The helmet is removed from the second prisoner to assess his head injuries, and nothing appears to be critical. At the end of the video, the third prisoner is brought to the 2, but there is no information about him. Deputy head of the main operational department of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Alexei Gromov, during a briefing, said the most difficult point is still in the Bakhmut direction. He reminded that the fighting in Bakhmut began in July last year and continues to this day. According to him, the Russians threw in the units of the regular troops who were best prepared to take Bakhmut, as well as the assault units of PMC Wagner. He also noted that there had been more than 380 fighting there since early February alone. However, our soldiers bravely defended their positions. Since the beginning of the Russian aggression in Ukraine, the private military company Wagner has lost more than 30,000 wounded and killed mercenaries. The Ukrainian Defense Forces have inflicted significant losses on the aggressors and destroyed nearly 146,000 Russian invaders. The General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces reported, at 1645 Russian mercenaries advanced in the forest northeast of Dubovo-Vasilivka and carried out an assault on the positions of the Ukrainian Armed Forces to the southeast. Fighting in Bakhmut in the south of the Stupki railway station district, Zabakhmutka, and the southeastern part of the private sector of the Kvadrity district. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said their intelligence had seen a new attack by Russian troops in the Donetsk region. While it remains unclear when Russia's much-anticipated spring offensive will begin, Stoltenberg appears to corroborate reports by Western officials that Putin's troops are already arriving at the front in what appears more like a rolling offensive than the traditional surprise arrival. He said on Wednesday, "We are already seeing new attacks by Russian troops, especially in the Bakhmut area, where there was heavy fighting and heavy losses." Stoltenberg noted that Russia was deploying troops to the Ukrainian lines, which had not been seen since the First World War. The U.S. Center for Strategic and International Studies has released the latest toll of Russian soldiers who died in Ukraine, assessing that the number of troops lost in Ukraine is greater than all their previous conflicts, post-World War II combined. They claim the Russians have lost between 60,000 and 70,000 soldiers. The most significant losses they suffered before the war in Ukraine were in the two Chechen wars near the turn of the millennium, in which they are estimated to have lost up to 25,000 troops. Britain continues to support Ukraine, and the Defense Ministry has released a video detailing 1 year of British support for Ukraine. In recent days, Russian offensives in southeastern Ukraine have killed at least 8 people in the last 24 hours, defense forces claim. The Kherson region above the Crimean Peninsula was hit 86 times in the last day. Ukrainian state broadcaster Suspiln claimed early Wednesday, resulting in the deaths of 5 people and injuries of 7. In neighboring Donetsk, further east, 3 people died, according to the local governor. Pavlo Kirilenko, in his morning update, said 1 person was killed in the Velika Novosilka district, 70 miles north of the occupied city of Mariupol, while 2 people were killed in Lastakino, outside the city of Donetsk, in an attack that damaged 15 houses. Meanwhile, shockingly, Russian mercenary affiliate Wagner Group has issued another rebuke from the Russian Ministry of Defense in their ongoing war of words as they seek to weaken each other's influence in the Kremlin.